This takes place at the hospital where I was staying for a few days as my brother recovered from surgery. It was around 10 p.m. and he asked me to go get him a snack from the vending machine so he could take a quick nap and have it when he woke up. The vending machines are on the lowest floor and there's a long hallway leading up to it. That hallway was lined with glass windows and a couple of doors. The only other thing on that floor was the cafeteria. I needed to make an important phone call, so I stepped out to the front of the building and did that. I noticed a man in scrubs holding Tupperware. He looked like a normal member of the staff who happened to be on lunch. I had a gut feeling that something was wrong, and I noticed he was watching me closely, and he would move where he was sitting to slowly get closer to me. I happened to tell my mom that I needed to head to the vending machine and back to my brother's room so I could check on him. That is when the man stood up and said, "Come with me. I know where there are better vending machines around the back of the building. I can show you them." I told him I would use the normal ones and went to head inside. I would have to walk past the doors that were locked at night to walk in the open ones. Staff members would know that, right? He tried to open that door, and then when he realized it was locked, he got a little bit flustered. At night you had to sign in, even if you only stepped out for a minute, so I walked up to the desk as I get inside. Thankfully the receptionist was there the night before, and we talked for a while, so she knew the basics about why I was there. The man was standing off to the side, and she asked what he was there for. Instantly he confirmed the gut feeling that he didn't actually work there. He nodded his head towards me and said he was with me. That angel of a woman could see the fear in my face and knew that he was lying. She asked him to come write down the name and room number of who he was visiting. As soon as she had him away from the hallway, she looked at me and glanced toward the hallway, signaling me to go. I could hear him yelling at both people working at the desk that he was with me and they needed to let him go with me. My heart was racing at this moment. At that point I knew he wanted to get me alone, and I wanted to avoid him at all costs. An actual staff member walked pretty fast out of a random hallway, and I jumped. He noticed and thankfully asked if I was okay. I'd seen him working the days I'd been there, so I felt a little bit more safe. I told him what was going on, and he offered to go down to the vending machines and then up to my brother's room with me. He told me to let him know if I saw that man. We then walked down a hallway and he was pounding on the locked entrance door and his face was pushed up against the glass. We finally made it downstairs to the vending machines, and that is where the hallway lined with glass windows comes into the story. He had made his way to those windows and was pounding on them and trying to get in the locked door. The man who had walked with me had called for security, and they met us at my brother's room while others went out to look for him. They said the receptionist had already just called as well out of concern for me. I hope those receptionists and the man who walked with me all know how incredibly thankful I am for them. They very likely saved me from going through awful things that night. Always listen to your gut when it's telling you something isn't right. Anyway, if you get this far, then thank you for listening to me rambling on for so long. I appreciate all the work that you do in these videos.